Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carrie. Appreciate you stopping by. I was helping a new client work on their dating profile, and we came to the question about body type. We had a choice between slender, athletic, average, curvy. Stop there, curvy. Filling out those dating profiles, how you describe yourself, whether you're doing it accurately, and what my suggestion might be under these circumstances. This is a quick tip today, and that's what's on the agenda. I don't know if you fellas know this, but it's almost become a joke. It's past being a joke at this point, maybe. But I'll be on the phone with a client. She says, I have a date coming up on Saturday. I met him on the dating app. I'm like, oh, tell me a little bit about what you know about him already. And she'll say he's this age, he lives here. He says he's 5'10", which means he's about 5'8". They all assume that the fellas are lying by a couple inches about their height. When I talk to fellas, they all assume she looks a few years older and a few pounds heavier than what they're seeing in her photographs. Can we talk about this for a second on this quick tip? People, you have to show up. Unless you're there just looking to waste some time and chat with some people temporarily and never plan to meet them in person, we have to be honest with what we're putting on our profiles and the pictures we are using. If you're never going to see them, you're in another country and you're just out there scamming people, maybe. Catfishing is a whole nother story. We don't appreciate that on this channel. Catfishing isn't nice, and scamming people is the worst. I'm assuming I don't have any viewers who are doing this. So you are just obviously a lovely, wonderful person out there dating who's just not really thinking it through to the fact that I have to meet this person in person now. How am I going to explain that I'm 20 pounds heavier now? You know, I've told you all about my client meeting Steve at the bar. I didn't fix them up. This was a date she had on her own, but he kept insisting to her that he was Steve, and she kept saying, no, you're not Steve. And he'd say, yeah, I'm Steve. She's like, you're not Steve. I saw the profile. He said, oh, the pictures on my profile, those are my nephew. What was he thinking? He's sitting there with my client now face to face, 25 years older, a whole different color, hair, face, everything was different than his nephew, obviously. And he shows up there thinking that she's going to be happy about this. She was so disappointed. Whether he could have been better looking than his nephew, but it was still going to be a huge shock to her, and she was going to be ticked off, right? She was very ticked off. Let me suggest this to you because it's really great advice. You want really good pictures that look like you, but you want to show up on a date looking even better than your pictures so that people are pleasantly surprised. Most of us were not all photogenic, right? I mean, I have to take 300 pictures to get 2 good ones if I'm doing some promotional material. I'm certainly not going to use one on a dating app where I'm going to meet someone face to face and show up and they're going to be, oh, you're not quite as cute as what I thought you looked like from your pictures. You hear me talk about my client with the no poker face. She could see that he was disappointed, and he hadn't even seen her picture. He was on a blind date, and I had described her, but obviously when you're describing someone, they make up in their head what they want to see. But if you've already seen a picture of this person and then they show up not looking anything like what you were expecting, there's a huge disconnect and a problem there. So again, this was just meant to be a quick tip, but keep in mind, you're on the dating apps to meet people, to hopefully connect and form some type of a relationship that would move forward to an even closer relationship. In the middle there was the part about actually meeting them. And when you get there, you need to look like what they saw in the pictures, lest you don't disappoint them, and look even better than what they saw in your photographs if you want to happily surprise them. So keep that in mind. And when you're filling out those little form things about how old you are, how tall you are, what body type you have, be honest. You want to be with somebody who's looking for somebody just like you. If I said that I am athletic and I show up really average to curvy, people are going to be like, oh, I don't really date girls who are average to curvy. I'm really only attracted to athletic types. Thanks for wasting both of our time tonight. They'd sit there, they'd talk to me, they'd think I'm funny as heck probably, but they're not going to be attracted to me because I'm not their type, and they're probably going to be angry that I lied about it. Better to be truthful, not waste your time, anybody else's. Accept yourself for who you really are, how old you are, how tall you are, how many lines you have on your face, and bedazzle somebody who walks in to meet you, and then bedazzle them. That's that little machine, the bedazzler. Didn't know where that phrase came from. The machine where you put the little studs and the little rhinestones on your jeans in your handbag from the 1970s, probably. All right, leave me a comment if you remember the bedazzler. I appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. I'll look forward to seeing you the next time we're together. And until then, have a good one.